and welcome to Berlinale here in Berlin at Nile Cinema. I'm sending all my greetings to Egypt. You are much warmer than we guys here are. It's very freezing, that's why I'm going to go inside now. Enjoy the award. Bye.
نايل سينما، شاشة المهرجانات السينمائية. تنقل لكم حصرياً فعاليات مهرجان برلين السينمائي الدولي. الدورة 63. تغطية خاصة، لقاءات حصرية مع نجوم وصناع السينما العالمية.
Welcome to Berlinale here in Berlin at Nile Cinema. Welcome Nile Cinema to Berlin!
Ma chère Henriette, c'est de bien loin que je vous écris. Depuis le jour où j'étais enlevée de chez moi par la fenêtre, j'ai bien essayé souvent de communiquer avec vous. Pas moyen, je suis surveillée la nuit comme le jour, comme une criminelle. J'ai été internée d'abord à Villévrard, puis sous prétexte de la guerre, on nous a transportés ici à Montevergue, près d'Avignon. Inutile de vous raconter ce que j'ai souffert depuis que j'ai été arrachée de mon atelier pour être enfermée dans ces horribles maisons. Paul me fait savoir qu'il vient samedi. Je ne désespère pas de sortir un jour d'ici. Recevez, chère Henriette, mes bien sincères amitiés pour vous et vos chers enfants. Vous êtes Camille Claudel à Montevergue, par Montfavet.
Camille Claudel, 1915. This French movie describes the tragic destiny of the highly talented artist Camille Claudel, who once was the lover of French sculptor Auguste Rodin. She was locked up in a psychiatric ward where she desperately waited for her beloved brother, famous poet Paul Claudel, to come and save her. Their exchange of letters was an important source of inspiration for Bruno Dumont, who has remained faithful to his creed, drawing on a cast of amateur actors but also featuring a true star, Juliette Binoche. This is another contribution to a dominant theme at this year's festival, the oppression of women. The press conference for Camille Claudel, 1915.
Juliette, is it
true that the origin of this film actually lay in the fact that you called up Bruno because you really wanted to work with him?
Oui, parce que j'ai la nostalgie des films de Dreyer et de Tarkovsky, je m'en remets pas de leur mort. Donc je pense qu'en France, on a la chance d'avoir Bruno Dumont, j'avais envie d'avoir cette caméra posée sur l'âme, sur le rien, sur le vide, sur le tout. Et je trouve que c'est une chance d'avoir un réalisateur pareil en France. Et j'avais envie de l'inviter un peu à travailler avec un acteur, parce que c'était pas vraiment son désir de départ. Et voilà, donc ça m'a poussé à l'appeler et à imaginer un projet ensemble. Mais évidemment, il fallait que, même si j'initiais ce premier risque de coup de fil, il fallait que de l'autre côté,
So I took the risk of calling him up, certainly, but there had to be somebody on the other end who was willing to embark and head out to sea, so to speak, with me. Bruno. Initially, as you said, there wasn't a screenplay. There was a real challenge here making this film with Bruno. He said, I'm not going to give you a screenplay. We'll work on the basis of you and on the basis of the correspondences between you and Camille. So I read, and also on the basis of her correspondence and her letters. So I read everything that she'd written. I steeped myself in this woman's character and in her writings, and there was a nothingness there, an abandonment, the absence of painting, or rather of sculpture, the absence of the family, the absence of affection, the absence of dialogue. That was what really created the power of her presence. Precisely through this absence. So I would say it was more a visitation by Camille rather than acting as Camille. She wasn't outside of me. Everything that she felt, I felt. Sometimes I felt myself overcome by a real attack or fit of tears. Just like you get a fit of laughter, you can get a fit of tears. She really imbued me, so it was very difficult for me because it was hard to bear, but at the same time there was a kind of happiness. It says turn things on its head. That's the kind of happiness that cinema makes possible through the transformation of cinema. At the end there's a smile on her face, and you might wonder why that's the case. And it actually corresponds to what Paul Kamel described in her. At the end of her life, there was a lightness about her, which was astonishing, despite all of her suffering, despite those 30 years passed on her own in unbearable conditions. In the cold, for example, very alone, she had the inner strength to find a kind of happiness, a kind of deliverance or redemption. And that was a very special kind of smile. But for me, it really corresponded very closely to Camille's life.
Very lucky to be here in Berlin. It's a very prestigious festival, and I'm really honored that they chose my film.
It's very cold, but everyone's really friendly, so it's nice.
Die Filme waren kontrovers diskutiert und der Direktor gut gelaunt.
Yeah, I love it. It's great. I love it.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Uli Zeller. I'm from RBB, the radio station for Berlin and Brandenburg, the capital area. And tonight we had the crews here on our red carpet. I mean, it's animated movie, so we only have the voices, or had the voices here, but they are really good. from Hollywood. For example, Nicolas Cage was here, and he was went to the fans and gave autographs, and also Emma Stone. And we also saw the German voices, Uwe Ochsenknecht oder Kostja Ullmann, for example. And it was a big day for the Berlinale tonight here, one day before we are going to know who will win the golden and the silver bear. That's from Berlin so far, and good luck and greetings to Egypt.
Ich heiße Eve und das ist meine Familie, die Croods. Wir waren ewig in der Höhle.
3 Tage sind nicht ewig.
Doch, mit dieser Familie schon.
Mom, wir wollen los. Mom? Ich lebe noch.
Der Tag ist ja noch jung.
Wir durften die Welt da draußen nie erforschen, wegen meinem Dad und seiner einzigen Regel.
Neu ist immer schlecht. Hab nie keine Angst vor irgendwas.
Aber da wussten wir auch noch nicht, dass sich unsere Welt komplett verändern sollte.
In die Höhle, lauf! Vorsicht!
Das müsst ihr euch ansehen, Leute. Oh, da müssen wir hin.
Nein! Oh! Los, los!
Wo sind wir?
Ich weiß nicht genau.
Dad?
Ich regel das für uns.
Jawohl, der zeigt ihn sehr gut. Oh Mann, die sind aber super, ich liebe das.
Und das ist Klammer. Koch, Gesprächspartner, Navigator. Und er hält meine Hose oben. Wir müssen sofort weg. Die Welt endet.
Was?
Alles, worauf wir gerade stehen, alles hier ist bald weg. Ich nenne es das Ende.
Wir brauchen eine Höhle.
Ich kann euch helfen. Kommt mit.
Dad, wir schaffen das.
Die Croods sind unzertrennlich. Das gilt nicht für euch beide.
Das dauert zu lange.
Wir müssen schneller vorankommen. Ich nenne sie Schuhe.
Ich liebe sie. Wo sind meine Füße?
Höhle! Schnell, alle rein!
Ey, guckt mal, die Höhle hat eine Zunge. Voll cool.
DreamWorks, die Croods.
Was ist das?
Feuer.
Ey, es beißt mich.
Versteck dich vor ihm im hohen, trockenen Gras!
This to me is a family comedy. I mean, this is a movie that has a lot of laughs and also a terrific amount of emotion, which happens when a movie is made from the heart, and that's what I love about this picture. Plus, it's spectacular. This is a movie also for adults, and you know, I don't really see it as a message movie. I see it as a movie you go and you enjoy yourself and maybe have some laughs and maybe get a little weepy at times. It's a very heartfelt film, and I'm very proud of it.
You really need to see this. We should go there.
No.
Whoa! Go, go!
After a succession of weighty and controversial topics, today the Berlinale was dominated by pure entertainment. The 3D DreamWorks animation The Croods premiered. It tells the story of a Stone Age family who lose their home and embark on an adventurous journey. It immediately becomes obvious to the viewer that family dynamics haven't really changed since the Stone Age. Famous actors Nicolas Cage and Emma Stone gave their voices to the characters, The Croods.
Tonight we'll hear the story of Crispy Bear. A long time ago, this little bear was alive because she listened to her father, so she was happy. But Crispy had one terrible problem. She was filled with curiosity. Yes, and one day she saw something new and died.
Just like that?
Yes.
Same ending as every day.
I get it, Dad. I will never do anything new or different.
Good man, Thunk.
Okay, I'm very sorry. Oh, my English isn't that good, so I have to ask you in German. It's a great, wonderful film. I really thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm sure it's going to be a great success at the box office. I wanted to know, how did you come up with this idea in general terms, and whether you're also trying to dwell on the family values, or trying to save even the family in this crumbling world, and what are the values that you just try to show, perhaps?
Okay, yeah, well, thank you very much. So this movie, really, what we were so excited about was that this film is a relatable film for the entire family, and it shows really this world's first modern family, and that they go on this road trip to search for this new home. But along the way, what it really talks about, you strip away all the conveniences and all the modern society, and the only thing left to talk about is really what makes us us, and why are we together, and what's the point of living. And so it has this larger message that plays through, but amongst the whole time it's still played with comedy and with all of the fun that the Stone Age brings that we attracted Chris and I from the very beginning.
My family has always survived by living by my dad's one rule: never leave the cave.
The question is, as far as I understood, your film is about how the whole mankind derived from classical American family, or vice versa. Please explain me. Thank you.
This is a good one for Chris. Chris, why don't you take this one?
Oh man, I think the thing that the dad, Grug, is struggling with, I think, is universal, which is, I think, the universal fear of your family growing up and things changing around you. So I think it's something that everybody can relate to.
We never had the chance to explore the outside world. But what we didn't know was that our world was about to change.
Eve, come down! Get to the cave! Go! Look out!
My name is Christina from German Radio. I have a question to Mr. Cage and to Emma Stone. How did you feel as those Stone Age people? And are there any relations between you today and the people there?
Well, the first thing I thought was, gee, I really hope I don't look like that. But what I really like about the relationship that Emma and I have in the movie is it's a relationship that I think many families can relate to. The overprotective father, the teenage daughter who wants to have some adventure and explore, and the transformations and the growth they go through together makes for a very funny and a very heartwarming experience.
I completely agree. I second that strongly, and all I can say is playing Eep was one of the most fun things I've ever gotten to do.
You really need to see this. It's so beautiful.
my question for Mr. Cage. I wish to know something about the experience of acting in this way. How was to give voices and to enter in a role in this particular case?
Well, 50% of performance is voice. And in between some of the other movies that I make, it was a great opportunity for me to stay in shape, stay in tune. I consider all acting to be music on some level. And so I would go to work on the Croods in all different areas of the world. I'd work with Chris and Kirk, who are wonderfully playful and creative filmmakers. And they'd put me in a little box with a microphone. I would not go in prepared. I would look at the lines as they were written that day, and then they would just say, you know, have at it, let's see, let's go. And I would start imagining things, remembering images from my past, remembering the most abstract sounds. It could be something as remote as a television commercial, anything coming in and informing the character. And the great thing was that they could then cherry pick and choose what worked and discard what didn't work. But it kept me in shape. This is like a 2.5-year process. So every time I went in, it was like an opportunity to stay in tune with what I call my instrument.
Wo sind wir?
Ich weiß nicht genau.
Dad?
Ich regel das für uns.
Jawohl, der zeigt's ihm sehr gut. Oh Mann, die sind aber... Super, ich liebe das.
Hello, it's Yannis Rauzeos from myfilm.gr in Greece. Hi. I would like to say that I really enjoyed the film, first of all. And I have to address a small question to all of you, to Miss Stone, Nicolas Cage, and the two directors. The idea is that I think that the film context has somehow a different and more deep meaning inside. And I think that speaks about the evolution, the great plan of the civilization somehow. I think that somehow there is a hidden meaning under a family story, under a family film story. So, do you think somehow that you can participate and create films that can give bigger meanings which are hidden under the coverage, let's say, of a family story? And I would like all of you to speak on that, if you can, please. Thank you.
You know what? Yeah, you know, this is typical of, I think, animated films in particular, because you're with them for a very long time, and they tend to, over time, do as much telling you what they want to be. And so this film was no different. I think one of the exciting things about this film was that because, I think Kirk touched on this a little bit, because the characters don't have jobs, and they don't have a particular schedule to keep. There's no alarm clocks. You really get down to the basics, like what is life all about? And it was only a few days into the project that we were dealing with some really, really grand and exciting themes. Stuff that was, I think, really the biggest kind of themes that I've ever encountered on a project I've worked on. And I think it was exciting, and it was also a little bit daunting. But I think just, like, what is life all about? That's the thing we ran across almost immediately.
I think that for me, personally, to go about any movie as a message movie is going about it the wrong way. To me, it's more reflection, to be a mirror in some way of what we're all feeling as families all over the world. And I can't think too much about it, because then it won't flow. I just have to feel it.
I think The Croods has elements of all of my favorite movies, which is that it's not just funny and it's not just heartbreaking. It takes you on a journey throughout the entire film. I cried and laughed and just went along for the ride and enjoyed myself the entire time. And throughout recording it, you know, you come in and you're doing different things on different days, or the whole thing in one day. And when you see how everything plays out in the end, you realize that the messages, which there are many, many messages in this movie, stick with you after the fact, but you're not sitting there thinking about the themes. You're sitting there really enjoying this family. And it's different than any other animated movie I've ever seen, in the sense that it feels so true to life the entire time, even though we are in the Stone Age.
It's a great day, I'm feeling good. Oh, the possibilities of what I could, do with the world at my fingertips. My imagination brings a smile up to my lips. Oh, fascinated, I'm moving fast.